Hello and welcome to the Mooncast for August 11th, 2018. We're going to be focusing on the new moon in Leo today, which is going to be a forecast for today as well as the upcoming couple of days. I'm your host, Vanessa Corazon. I'm a life and business psychic coach, and I'm also the creator of the Moonsight Lunar Guided Business Planner. So during this forecast, we're going to be really discussing the emotional, mental, and energetic qualities that are kind of stirred up in us as we enter this new moon cycle. So there has been definitely a lot at work where we are currently still in Mercury retrograde in Leo. There is several other planets that are also currently retrograding. And of course, this is a new moon. So this period is very much about tuning within and not shying away from what we find. You know, really kind of getting to become comfortable with ourselves. Both, you know, the things that we like to kind of show to people. This is the Leo quality. Becoming very more comfortable with what other people are seeing. Rather than what we are seeing, rather than what we're feeling, and not kind of wanting to be as open about that. But because this is a new moon in Leo, this is really an opportunity for us to kind of welcome ourselves, to really get to know ourselves, even the things that we don't like so much about ourselves. What we would traditionally consider or call our shadow side. This is a period of really embracing all of the bits, all of the little things that were just, that I can accept these things about myself, but not this. Nobody can really know about that. Or I can't really let on that I'm struggling around this, or that, I don't feel confident around this, or I still have a lot of trauma or pain around this particular issue. I can only show, what I feel like I've mastered. Or I have to act more confident than what I actually am around something because other people wouldn't be able to accept that about me, or I couldn't accept that other people can see that about me. We're really being invited to show more of who we are, to embrace more of our flaws, more of the imperfect bits, because we cannot heal and move through this period whole unless we also include those pieces. We can't expect ourselves to, be able to make the leaps and bounds progress that we want within our businesses and within our lives if we're not willing to kind of sit with the things that make us uncomfortable about ourselves. The places where we feel broken or flawed or imperfect. This is a window to kind of getting to look into those things, because what you may have noticed over the past week or so is that these things are becoming kind of hard to avoid. We're being shown these parts of ourselves. We're being we're kind of being pushed into the deep end of our own emotions. Around how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about our lives, about how we feel about the things that we're struggling with. And it's not been as easy to kind of, superficially boost ourselves up and tell ourselves like, this is just a phase, or it's going to pass, or let's not focus on that. And to really kind of, hustle yourself along, right? This window, though, is there to show you that there is power and authenticity and medicine in the aspects of ourselves that we normally would like to hide, that we'd rather nobody see, including ourselves. That we don't like to think about, how we reacted or if we were triggered about something. We like to kind of just brush it under the rug and kind of just move on like it didn't happen. But what we're getting to experience here is that these bits that we kind of brush under the rug are actually the places where we are the most empowered. They are the places that are going to show us the quickest route to solving our own problems, to feeling more clear and more confident and more alive. And they are the missing pieces. So if you've been feeling really disoriented or confused, or that you just don't seem to have the clarity that you want right now, if you're willing to embrace all of you, if you're willing to embrace all of the aspects of your life, even the ones that feel like they're a mess, or they're just not working the way that you want them to, or that you just feel like you flat out have failed at, if you're willing to take the whole thing, you know, put it all together, allow it to be together in the same room, you know, to take up space within you, we can actually move into this period feeling a lot clearer and a lot more whole, because all of those missing pieces will be there for you. You know, all the pieces where, you know, you're not giving yourself enough attention or enough grace, or just enough kindness to acknowledge that, you know what, at this point in life, no matter what you think about yourself, you're not always meant to have absolutely every single thing figured out. You know, there is going to be areas where you're still growing. There's going to be areas where you're still finding things out about yourself. And just, you know, places where we get to experience and create what we want, oftentimes from the ashes of the things that fell apart, you know. And this is not meant to be a depressing moon. In fact, it actually is quite high energy. And if you have been, you know, embracing these aspects of yourself, if you have not been running from them, you actually may be feeling quite energized right now, and really kind of ready to step into what is unfolding. Because during this period, not only have we been put face to face with these different aspects and qualities of ourselves and our life that maybe doesn't fit into what we would normally consider our picture perfect or our ideal, is we're also being asked to become honest about exactly what we want. And if the actions that we've been taking, the way that we've been living our lives, the way that we've been running our businesses, if they are actually, in fact, leading us to the life that we want to have, or are they keeping us stuck in a lifestyle that we don't? So, you know, it's an opportunity to not only question what you want, but it's also an opportunity to question what you believe about yourself. So if you have, you know, when you think about the life that you want, if you think, well, I can't do that now, or I can't charge that now, or, you know, that it's too soon for me to do that, or I need more experience, or whatever that might be, what we're kind of being asked at this point is, at what point do you think that it would be okay? You know, at what point do you think that you would have arrived and that you can then start living the life that you want, or you can start charging what you want, or you can start doing the level of work that you want to do in your business? Because Leo is quite impatient, actually, and it really nudges us. It lights a fire in us to say, you know, the only one who's holding you back from this is you. The only one who is holding you back from having this be your reality right now is what you decide. And that it really does come down to a decision, that we have to set aside our pride, and we have to set aside, you know, any feelings of arrogance, and we have to just be completely ground level honest with ourselves about exactly what we want. And this idea of working up to something is actually an illusion that is keeping us frustrated and struggling and feeling quite alone. You know, the idea of working up does not bring you the reality and the life that you want. You have to actually be willing to go out there and grab a hold of it and start from that place, rather than thinking, you know, in a few years this will be my reality. Because we're building that foundation. We're not only building that foundation now, we're actually also living it, right? This is not, you know, build now, live later. This is build now, live now. And it is our opportunity to really stake a claim in exactly the reality that we want to have. But if your actions are counterintuitive to that reality, if your actions are saying, I'm not worthy of this right now, if your actions and patterns are not creating healthy boundaries, if they're not speaking your truth, if they're not, asking for what you want to be paid, then you're going to feel that gap, that frustration and agitation between where you want to be and where you actually are. And you're not going to feel good about it. You're not going to feel excited about it. You're going to feel kind of pissed at yourself. So what we're being invited to do during this time is to get really, really, really clear about exactly what we want. And if our actions and if our lifestyle is supporting that to become our current reality. If we'd say that we don't want drama in our lives, or we don't want people taking advantage of us, and yet we still spend 3 hours on the phone talking to a friend who never would do the same for you, or loves to just kind of call you up and complain, for example, but never actually wants to take action to change their life, then you can't say that you don't want drama. You can't say that you want, to be surrounded by people who are supportive and uplifting while you're still entertaining the other reality. So New Moon in Leo is about grabbing and claiming exactly what you want, stopping what is no longer serving you, being willing to bravely let go of what is no longer serving you, with the understanding that you're making room for what you do, and that we cannot simultaneously hold on to what we want to let go of while equally grabbing what we do and thinking that we're going to bring the other one in, that we're going to just be able to step onto the reality that we want. We have to first let go of what we don't. So I welcome you and invite you during this new moon to really be completely and frankly honest with yourself. It's a great quality that Leo has. It wears its heart on its sleeve. It's completely honest and truthful to a fault. But you also need to put your mane on and bravely step into what you want for your life. What do you want for your life? Because the playing around, Leo is very playful, but this idea that, we're biding time until something happens or something gets better is keeping us stuck in a lot of self-sabotage and a lot of frustration and a lot of ego, really. So let's step into and claim exactly what you want. Let's allow it to become your reality, and let's notice what you're no longer willing to do or entertain. I hope that this Mooncast helps you, and if you have any questions about anything that I've shared with you here, I hope that you'll comment below this video and share them with me. And be sure to join me for the next Mooncast on the full moon in about 2 weeks, and we'll dive in from there. Thank you for watching.